Um, should we just tell people ahead of time? Obviously, we're gonna have a consistent color for Liereyy, but like Leary's 100% gonna have a different color than
He's gonna
color
go.
one.
He's gonna go
Game
green
two.
next game. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking like green or yellow for game two. Then he goes to like color red
Mm-hmm.
for game three. Yeah, give me a sec. What time are you at then?
5 seconds.
5 seconds. I'll get there.
I have to. I close capture age after every single set because it's burning in the background if you don't do it. So then
The
when I
burning
open it up
noise.
again, I'm never at like 0 seconds in.
Yeah, it's weird. Are you gonna have Liereyy in blue though? TaToH
Yeah.
in red, just so
Yep.
we're on the same page. Okay. Just want to make sure. All right. Well, anyways, I'm good to go. 3, 2, 1, go. This is going to be an amazing series here. In Group D, we have TaToH, Liereyy, and the Viper. And then below them, we've got Vivi, Sobek, and Classic Pro. And coming into this, everyone said D stands for death because it's got 3 players who are probably in the top 5. Having said that, TaToH played Viper already. He beat Viper 2-1 in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And now we get the Liereyy TaToH series. So this should be pretty good here, Dave. Dravidians for Liereyy. And then Italians for TaToH. And these players are so good, it feels like we just know that they're going to be either first, second, or third. Like they're always going to go playoffs in my mind.
Especially with such a wide variety on the map pool too. Like they're so experienced on all of these maps. Migration has seen a little bit of a renaissance between like Nations Cup and this tournament and a few other tournaments. We're seeing more migration being added to map pools, and players are a little bit more familiar with it nowadays. Italians is a fantastic civ. Dravidians is also great, and Liereyy has gone for the lumber camp first. So he's not going to be doing the build where you go out and make it the docks super early with Dravidians because it counts as a house, right? He's going to go for the lumber camp, and that's going to be more consistent, a little bit less quick early, but way more consistent long term to get that lumber camp up.
So I know TaToH will probably have this down, but just to break down what most players who are having success do, obviously easier said than done, but typically it's 2 lumber camps, 2 docks, about 10 fishing ships, then fast castle with transport eventually soon after that, and obviously lots of navy. Liereyy I haven't seen play a lot of migration. I know he played in a tournament I did not cast at all that you did, the Clash of Empires. Was there migration in that?
No, there was not. Clash of Empires was mostly like close land maps. Really fun map pool, actually. But I don't think it included Migra, so haven't seen Liereyy on this map in a long time.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm alluding to. I'm curious. Like, I don't think Lierey's going to have something I completely disagree with here, like Licks the other day. But I do think there could be some small things here. Now, he does have a Civ where you could do different things, right? Because the plus 200 wood in Feudal and in Castle gives you a bit of more wiggle room. But I'll have my eyes on Liereyy. TaToH has always been known as someone who's really good on water. So the fact that this is the neutral map and being game number 1 does make me think...
That dock's not going to be up in time.
That TaToH... Oh, for the house?
3 seconds. 3 seconds. He almost did the math perfectly on that.
I love it the whole time I'm going through my thing, you're just staring at the dock.
I was comparing percentages, man. That dock was almost up perfectly. That would have been beautiful if it was.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll just see. TaToH's always been more of a water player. TaToH then has Hideout as his home map. And what did we say Liereyy had again? I forget.
Liereyy has Golden Pit.
Oh, Golden Pit.
Yeah. Also, can we just appreciate that lumber camp from Liereyy? That early efficiency on that lumber camp is amazing, man. Holy.
Also, it's what's satisfying about lumber camp like this too is because they've all come one by one. They're all dropping off at different times. Because if they all go to drop off together, like if you built it with the same villas, they'd be bumping. But it's going to be like one after another the whole way through. It is extremely satisfying. Oh.
And this looks like kind of a more FC type of build from Liereyy. I mean, he wasn't super hard on the food early.
Yeah.
So that tells me that he's probably not going to go for the super fast up galley approach and try and snipe the fish from TaToH. He might make a few because it's Liereyy and he loves using units.
I wonder...
But
you might forget a house here.
It's slower. Nope.
Okay.
He's going to be late with that one. He's going to be late with that house.
Yeah. But I mean, this is probably going to be double dock from both then. And this is kind of what I wanted to see from Liereyy. I feel like you can't really go wrong with it because you're so far away from the opponent on migration that if you try and go Navy too early, by the time you get over there to kill their fish, they're likely ready in defense. So players then opt to just simply add more fish themselves. Second dock for Liereyy. Yeah, I like Lierey's approach a lot. TaToH, he doesn't have as much flexibility right now, but he does have cheaper fishing ships. It's cheaper to go up to the next age. And then cheaper dock techs and castle age is a big one for him.
Migration is just one of those maps where your starting build, like, you have to be so clean with it because you don't have boars. There's not a lot of forgiveness, right? You have to get all of those deer pushed in. You have to find all of your sheep fast enough. You have to make sure that you're only taking from one food source at a time. Your docks are up just on time. Your houses are in just on time. You can see Liereyy with a little bit of mistakes here. 16 seconds idle TC time. TaToH with 10. And TaToH is going to click up to Feudal Age first. Liereyy still has some fishing ships on the way. Probably going to be like 2 villagers behind clicking up than TaToH. And he's definitely going to be later to the Castle Age, but he will get 200 wood when he reaches Feudal Age. So that's going to help him get that market and blacksmith up a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and he's going to have additional fishing ships because he's producing out of 2 docks. I think there's greater efficiency for him because his fishing ships carry more food with the Dravidians, not to mention the second dock. So TaToH's definitely gone for the approach that I was expecting maybe Liereyy to go for, an approach that I haven't seen work out as much, but then again, it's TaToH. So I can't not have faith in TaToH here. He's definitely going to be able to click up pretty quickly. The next thing to talk about then is, are we going to see scouts in the middle? It's pretty big investment for guys who need the wood for other things to go for the barracks and the stable, but I've seen it pay off. There's the barracks from Liereyy, actually. Yep. All right, so I don't know. I could be wrong on this, okay? But the first time I saw Hart play migration in gold, Hart's obviously very good friends with Liereyy. He went galley approach. He died to the fast castle fire build. And I was like, Hart will never do that again. Next time I saw Hart play, he then got surprised by scouts. And I was like, he barely won the game. And I was thinking, I wonder if Hart will adjust that in the future. Next time I saw Hart play, which is the final time I saw Hart play, he added scouts himself. Very similar build here. So I wonder if like Hart or maybe even Nikov, who had played in gold, had communicated at all with Liereyy on this build, because this looks very similar to what I've seen before.
Third dock up for Liereyy as well. He gets that wood now, and he's going to go for 3 fire galleys to defend, basically. He's going to make the stable in the center, presumably. There it is, against that wood line, which is kind of ugly,
blocking the wood line.
is what it is, right? That stable's actually hideous because you can only get out from one side at a time. You can't pass on the southern side of that, but whatever. He's blocking off for now, and he's going to have the scouts in the center. Unfortunately for Liereyy, a little bit late with the 2 buildings, so he is floating a lot of food here. He has found the villagers, though, from TaToH. TaToH already has loom. Liereyy does not have loom, so he's getting it right now.
Liereyy should know this is TaToH trying to get a forward dock to kill my fish.
Yep.
TaToH's going to be surprised by this. There he is. There will be another scout on the way as well. So far, this is an amazing build from Liereyy. He's utilized all that extra wood of the Dravidians. He has more fishing ships. He could kill all of this right now. I mean, this could lead to him winning the game because the middle's so important here.
An actual moment where Dravidian stables are good. Imagine. What has life become? Yep. What has life become? Liereyy is trying to block off these villagers. He's going to kill both of these villagers at this rate. I don't think TaToH can wall these in. 2 villagers are going to die, and Liereyy has 2 fire galleys looping from the north side, coming in towards TaToH's fish. That's actually a really sick build.
This is amazing. Yeah, because remember, like, wood's kind of tight to be able to add the buildings and the ships. But because of the extra wood, you can do it. You've got to be careful here if you're Liereyy. Don't lose all your scouts to some fires here.
It's worth it to lose, like, 1 scout here to take this out, though. Nice.
Yeah, just so there's no scout to kill any monks, maybe. So TaToH now, has to go for a different plan. His whole plan has been ruined. He is in Castle Age. He's going for gill nets right away. I like that, but with just 8 fishing ships, that's unique. And he's got to defend his fish here from Liereyy coming in with fires. Obviously, Liereyy much later to cast Lage, though. So Liereyy could have some issues on water defending against the upgraded ships.
I I like the idea of going for a monastery near that shoreline if you're Liereyy, though, because monks will really help against these fire ships if you know where the fishing is from your opponent.
I think yeah, that, but I think you just town center, right? Just get a TC up. Make sure you get more vills. Lierey's played this incredible so far, Dave. Answered all my questions and my worries about him, right? You can tell why he was happy with this being game number 1.
He's got a demo raft there. He's got 2 fire galleys as well. He takes out the fire ship from TaToH, and the demo can come in here once he gets that war galley upgrade. He's going to save it, pull the fishing ships back a little bit. War galley is 20 seconds away. Light Cav also on the way in, and he has gone for the monastery in the center rather than the TC. I don't think he could afford the wood cost. He needed all the other upgrades.
Ooh, demo's right before the war galley upgrade comes in, though, Dave, and TaToH's able to come back now. He can kill some fishing ships. Remember, TaToH's going to have more at home now, and it's guild nets, so more efficient. TaToH also has more navy on the field. He's got 8 fires to Lierey's 4. So this is what's great about migration. We've seen the benefits to both approaches. Obviously, TaToH is falling behind on land, but he's now pulling ahead on water because he's had more ship production. I think TaToH's going to almost have to go like Fast Imp, Castle, the Shoreline type of a play here, right? Because if he has any villagers arrive to the mainland, Liereyy should be able to spot him.
Could also try and transport over for like condos. We've seen that before as well.
Yeah.
If he gets to Imperial Age, a bit more of a risk against Dravidians, I think. If they get that castle up, they have an instant counter unit. Or they could go for maybe like longswords or something with cheaper techs, although that's less likely. And more villagers being sent across from Liereyy, picking up the relics in the center. Monks are there so he could convert a fire ship and go after the fishing ships from TaToH.
Yep. Don't know if you heard that. If you did, I'm sorry. Massive lightning strike right outside my house. That's fun.
It's thunderstorming here too. Nice.
All right, same storm.
NBL, thank you for the raid, dude.
There's a TC for Liereyy. I was gonna say the only thing I can really be critical of is he was very late to that. Like, your advantage is not just the fact you killed 2 vills. Your advantage is the fact that you can boom up on the land. Pretty even fight on one side, but on the other, Liereyy has to fall back. But Lierey's got a demo waiting in the south.
Will it be a good one?
Big shot.
Oh, okay. It was still okay.
And they were both microing the other side right now. And eco count's been pretty even, Dave. Considering the early losses for TaToH, I think he'll be happy that he hasn't fallen further behind. Still has plenty of potential on water, but it's just eventually he needs land.
Yep.
Right?
Also, 3rd relic coming in for him, so that's going to start to accrue. That is going to start to build up inside there, and he still has the light cav, just kind of controlling this center area. Lots of vision on the center area for Liereyy. He's got light cav all over the place, and the monk as well.
Yep. TaToH's been getting some big hits. Res collected right now. TaToH's 100 ahead.
Barely
But obviously
anything.
we know Lierey's going to pull ahead because of the vills in the middle. And TaToH coming in with a whole lot of fires now in the south again. Liereyy is waiting, though. Liereyy just has to be careful that he doesn't fall behind on water right now.
He's defending quite nicely. Like, he keeps defending in the north. TaToH's unable to approach from that side, and because of the dock setup from Liereyy, he's really unable to take control in the south either, although he keeps consistently winning fights there. But Liereyy has gone for a forward dock now. If he goes for 1 fire there, he could conceivably take out all the fish from TaToH, and that's been the big advantage so far in the game for TaToH. But look at TaToH. He's got a stable at home. He's getting the light cav upgrade, and he's on stone right now. So when he comes for this landing, he's going to be fully prepared to fight back the military from Liereyy in the center.
The level's so high here, right? Like, the level is just so high. Lierey's opening was so smooth. He's held nicely. TaToH still with a chance to recover here. And I think the light cav will surprise Liereyy. He's just expecting TaToH to just maybe fast imp like we said.
He sees
and
it.
Here's light cav. And there TaToH's making another stable. And this could get out of hand fast on water too, because you're now distracted on land as fires are coming in to hit your fishing eco. Both of them are.
I wonder when Liereyy goes to stone. It's surprising to me. Okay, he's going to stone right now. So he realizes his opponent is on the center. He's going to bring back that 5th relic. Monastery in a pretty exposed location, by the way, in the center of the map.
Yeah.
But he's gone to stone with 5 villagers. He's got that TC over there on stone, obviously. And he's thinking about locking down the center area now that he can't stop TaToH from getting here.
TaToH cannot see that dock. Like, look at his fish. He could not see the forward dock. And Liereyy can't see the fish.
Oh, God.
So if Liereyy could see the fish, he would obviously be killing them right now. He could see the edge of the snappers, but he can't see the other side. TC going up for TaToH. And again, great hold from TaToH.
I think I like Lierey's position still better here. But TaToH's done a good job. Really, really good job. And Liereyy ungarrisons the fires to the right because he couldn't see the fish.
Way.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
That's so funny. The details in this game. And that TC being up, obviously a big worry now for Liereyy. But again, he has had more villagers for a while now. It took TaToH a pretty big investment. TaToH fortunate those fishing ships have stayed alive here, because this gives him a chance to realize Lierey's got the forward dock. He does know Liereyy has the forward dock now. And those fishing ships, I mean, they're pretty inefficient now, but every little bit counts here, right? As we see Monks and Lycav engaging, Liereyy getting Sanctity, but this is dangerous. I feel like you've got to add a barracks here. Make some spears.
Sanctity coming in. It's in now. TaToH notices that dock. Liereyy still doesn't know that the fish are over there. He sent another fire out of that dock to the right, by the way. So he hasn't fully taken advantage of that, but he's still defending in the south, too. A good demo there from him. He's going to win the 1v2 with the fire. And he's kept those 4 fish alive somehow, but in the center, all of his monks go down. TaToH with extended light cap production. They were trying to defend.
Yeah, and Liereyy just felt like, I'll just make more monks against this. He's got a civ that has cheap barrack upgrades. Could have gone for pikemen, which felt like a really nice play, and all of his monks have gone down. TaToH, loving life, sorry, at the moment.
Liereyy, use the market, please. Just use it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he's building it now.
2K gold. He could buy himself enough for a castle. He could buy himself up to Imperial Age. He could do a lot of things with that, but he's clearly very busy at the moment. He's making a market right now, so he didn't have one.
TaToH needs to kill this dock with the light cap. 37 HP. Okay, he sees the castle from Liereyy. When you start to see castles go up, players start to think about Imp. TaToH's not. TaToH's going Bloodlines.
He is Italians, though, so it is cheaper.
Yeah.
He could make it work if he's floating a lot of gold, especially. Liereyy getting a ton of value from those relics already. You can really see that in the gold value. Just kind of spiking upwards, right? When you have 5 relics, you'll look at your gold amount, and it'll be really far up there. He can just buy his way up to Imp once the castle goes up.
I think TaToH's... I think he's going to stay in Castle Age and just try and hold the Trebs back. Liereyy buys 700 food.
And he still has 800 gold in the bank.
Clicks up to Imp. Credit to both players for farming on the main TC, by the way. It was really smart. Ranges for Liereyy. When have we seen that? I guess he's going to shoot towards Arbalest.
He doesn't have redemption with Dravidians, which could be a big factor here if TaToH wants to continue with the monk play against bomber cannons later.
I think as long as Liereyy has enough army to just protect his vills to walk forward and build another castle near the monastery, he can then treb TaToH's castle freely. So TaToH's going Rams. Like,
he's going to try and take the relics. Yeah, he's going to try and take the relics. But I think Lierey's going to have crossbows in time here. I don't know if he can stop the monastery from going down, but I think he could prevent most of those relics from getting away.
Yeah, I think most likely. By the way, if I disappear at any point, I should be good with a battery backup, but it's wild out there.
By lightning, yeah.
So monastery will go down. 2 monks are in there. Might want to eject with those if you're Liereyy, at the very least, just to keep them alive for later, but that's a tiny detail.
Dravidian Light Cav versus Genoese Expo. I wonder who's going to win.
I think it's all about the crossbows here. Liereyy, he's got faith, and his monks do pop out. He's got to get 2 conversions on Genoese. That's not bad. That's really nice, actually. And Liereyy, he's going to win this fight, and he's going to be an Imp. And I think Lierey's going to be able to take this game. Keeps the monastery up as well. Look at that.
He almost has enough stone for another castle, too. It's kind of a weird position, right? You see the hill, you're like, I want a castle on that, but which part of the hill? And he goes for that
Yeah.
part back there, which is actually a pretty nice setup. He can actually bring his trebs forward and set them up a little bit to the southeast of that castle, behind the wood line on the hill, and that's a great position to fight the castle from TaToH. TaToH goes for another TC. He's slower to Imperial Age. He still has the fishing ship advantage over Liereyy. But Lierey's in a pretty good position with so many crossbows already. Be careful of demos, my friend. You are fighting up against TaToH.
Against TaToH. Don't go near the shoreline. Dave, this is just... I mean, I
So
think
high
the
level.
only thing that I could say that has really gone wrong for Liereyy is just maybe delaying building his own TC and Castle Age. But
Yeah.
this has been a clinic on how to play Migration and utilizing the Dravidian bonuses as well. Lierey's played incredible here, and TaToH clearly never expected the stable. You know, he's done a good job to fight back here, but I mean, he's gonna lose his castle. He'll go into his own range units, but Dravidians actually have the superior ranged units, right? Because of the faster firing skirms, elephant archers. Could be really good for Liereyy long term, and TaToH's being annoying with the light cav in the back. That's good. Liereyy probably a little annoyed with all that. Quick walls to protect the villager building the TC. But he's
TaToH's
got
still,
the crossbow army.
like, he's
pressuring.
still so far away from being able to counter these trebs, right? He's like
Yeah.
30 seconds from him. Then there's another minute 45 or whatever it takes for chemistry to come in. Then there's the production time on the bombard cannons. And Liereyy is at the back of your base with crossbows.
Yep.
Potentially Arbalest soon. You don't know. And this is looking rough for TaToH. That castle's going to go down, man.
TaToH, I also think the score is interesting. Like, I think if I see the score right now, I think I'm, you know, somehow still in this. But it does feel like to us, he's so far removed from getting the upgrades he needs. Especially once you lose the castle. There's limited space here. So losing the TC and the Siege Workshop is to follow. He's doing the right play. He's going to go skirmishers. This should prompt Liereyy to mix in some of his own skirms or some bombard cannons. Could always consider cheap barracks upgrades, but it's Liereyy. He's got the buildings, so he's just going to make more range units.
I mean, this is the position you don't want to be in against Liereyy. 25 crossbows, castles behind, siege following up, and you're just reacting. Like, so many players, thousands of players have lost from a similar position like this against Liereyy, and very few of them have won. Like, it is not a situation that TaToH's going to be feeling comfortable in.
Yeah, especially as he loses his production here. Liereyy knows what he's doing. He knows skirms will actually be a problem for him. So he's just taking out all these buildings. Siege Workshop as well. TaToH's going to go for a Hero Mango shot. We'll see. I guess you go for the Trebs.
Yeah, you have to.
Instant attack round on all three Trebs from TaToH.
And Liereyy throws
Another
his
one.
army because he's trying to take out the Mangonel. He doesn't want to lose his Trebs.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, Liereyy really needed to just get his own skirms
But
here.
he's dancing
He's got it now.
Yeah, he's dancing now. He's feeling it. Ballistics coming in, armor coming in, villagers trying to take out the Trebs, and the villagers are going to get one of them, and they might actually get a second one. No.
Yep. Trebs are like, not today, and now we've got Skirm v Skirm, Dravidian Skirms. Might as well be machine gun Skirms. These things fire so quick. Also prompts Liereyy to get armor. He's known for not getting armor a lot because his micro's so good. He doesn't need it.
And he goes for a super aggressive castle. Very aggressive castle. But bomber cannons are on the field now from TaToH. So you have to be concerned about that. When you're thinking about that castle, he sees the bomber cannon, immediately puts it further back. Nice. Doesn't commit onto that.
I think Liereyy, he really thought he would have won the game already. And now he's like, man, do I really got to add bomber cannons too? Like, do I really have to consider like some other unit? Like your roomies could actually be really good. Anyways, the GG's called. TaToH realizes it's going to be over. And that opening from Liereyy, though, so sick. And that's, I think, a big part of why he got such a big lead in this game.
That was like the highest or one of the highest level migration games I've ever watched. That was really, really nice from both these guys.
Yeah. If stop asking why Dravidians, at least on migration. Like that build is awesome. The additional 400 wood allowed him to make the Navy while simultaneously making the buildings that he did. And the timings on it was really smooth. Um, TaToH clearly just wanted the forward dock to kill fish. He didn't really plan with enough docks at home, though, and I think TaToH did a good job to recover. A lot of players would have died there, but
I,
Liereyy
I
takes game one.
I like the patience on re-landing from TaToH. Like he waited till he had light cav, he waited
Yeah,
till he
yeah.
had the villagers ready, and then he came over. So many people would have just dropped off 3 or 4 vills, and Liereyy had light cav waiting everywhere to see
Yep.
that landing. But TaToH was able to push it back.
No, I agree. I mean, it really surprised Liereyy. It gave TaToH an opportunity. In hindsight, I don't think adding more light cav was a mistake because he killed a lot of monks, but like there were a couple upgrades. Like bloodlines, fletching. Like the
Mhm.
second that Leary's got a castle going up, I feel like maybe TaToH's got to try and rush Imp. Um, but I think for TaToH, he didn't feel like he could conveniently get there, so he
Mhm.
went for investing more in castle.
And
This should be a really good series.
that was neither player's home map. That just shows as a home map for TaToH because it was the one remaining, correct?
I'm sorry, I completely missed everything you just said. What was the
I was
question?
saying that was neither player's home map, even though it's on TaToH's side. It was just the last map remaining.
Yeah, exactly. So, the last map remaining is essentially neutral after a series of bans. Okay, I'm asking Nikov now. He'll tell me. Did you or Hart
It's
talk to Liereyy
it's
about
experience, you J-hole.
migration
That's
build
how.
with scouts? Just curious. Smiley face. Nikov will tell me.
Experience and chemistry. That's how we avoid speaking on
Nikov will
top of
probably
each
be
other.
like,
I'm muted right now though, so we're speaking on top of each other.
say something about Liereyy and involving the word potato. All right, so score 1-0. TaToH's going to go to hideout where he had beaten the Viper in their series, which was really good. Hop into that. It's
Oh,
got to be
Lierey's
melee
in
here for
green.
Liereyy, I think.
Oh my god, Lierey's in green. Imagine that. Well, we're switching him back to blue, and TaToH went to blue, so he's going to red. Amazing.
Freaking Liereyy.
Yep.
Well, Dave, if there's ever a tournament that's hosted where players' identities are hidden,
Mm-hmm.
I'm really looking forward to players trying to act as if they're Liereyy by changing their colors.
Yep.
If such a tournament were to ever happen again, just
Or
saying.
Liereyy pretending not to be Liereyy by keeping the same color.
I know it's definitely the biggest thing color wise that will happen. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know anyone who hosts tournaments like that. Okay, so Leary's in green. We're changing him back to blue and
Blue.
TaToH to red. What
Yep.
time are you at?
2.
2. Got it.
Easy.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Here we are, and so far, Leary's undefeated in TTL. He only got 9 wins in season 2, 9 wins, 6 losses, which surprised some people. But what I had said about that is usually Liereyy, he doesn't come in like highly prepared for the maps. By the time group stage is finished, he's played every map, and then he's got such an elite level. He goes deep into the playoffs. But thus far, Leary's looked incredible. TaToH beat Viper in the first round 2-1. So he's used to losing to a big name and still being able to win a series. And he did win on this map against the Viper with, I think he had the melee himself. Oh, no, he lost to Viper on Hideout, I think.
Yeah, he did. They both went for the
melee.
fast feudal eco upgrade approach. It was Portuguese against Malay, and then it was kind of like a standoff. I think TaToH even tried to cut. But he's got humans this time around. Like I was saying before, I think humans are just so good on this map. Really good on Arena too. And TaToH, when I think of humans and the best players to play humans, TaToH's right up there at the top. I think he just has that strategy where he goes forward and adds the second TC behind. I don't know if it works as well on Hideout as it does on Arena for him. But we'll see what he attempts to do here. If there was a Civ to crack humans, though, Malay might be it. Might be it because of the uptimes, because of the forward positions they can get. Potentially, the humans could struggle with that.
And it's also a great Archer Civ in Leary's hands. Humans don't have very good counters to those archers. I mean, they do get Siege Onager, but can't tell you the last time I've seen that researched in a 1v1 hideout game. So, yeah, I think both players have played towards their strengths. I would say, though, that it benefits TaToH pretty hugely that the chunk of wood in this version of hideout is longer, or at least they are somewhat more towards the middle, because it's going to take a longer journey for Liereyy to get any army and pressure onto TaToH here.
Okay.
Do you
So
agree or disagree?
I do. Sorry, I was looking at
All
something
good. No,
else.
it's all good.
I was busy with something else. Sorry. I wasn't purposely ignoring you. What's the uptime here for TaToH? What are we thinking? 17 villagers? What can you get away with? That deer
I
push
don't know.
was hideous.
The deer,
but
yeah, the deer's rough.
he's gonna have to make a mill anyway for the second building, so maybe that's his plan.
Also has no need, if he's going for any build I know of, to make another house right now. So I'm thinking that maybe TaToH doesn't even go for like 18 or 19 pop. With no loom, I go 19 pop. I've said that before though, and had players be like, you could do 18 or 17, but that'd be my guess. I think my bigger question is, what do you do as the Malay? Like in the game we saw earlier today, we see the feudal age boom. So you could do that, but like feudal age boom into crossbows, feudal age boom into 2 TCs, 3 TCs. Do you just want to go fast castle?
I think
and siege pressure? Like it's really difficult to know.
It's going to be difficult for Liereyy because the way this map is set up, like they're far apart on either side.
Yeah.
Even if you wanted to go forward, it's going to take you so long to get to your opponent's base. And TaToH has a ton of time to realize you're coming, right? If he has correct scouting.
I don't think TaToH... If TaToH is going fast feudal 2TC, he could have been up faster. Let's just say that. It's not necessarily bad for his eco to be up a bit later. You have an extra vill, but it's worth mentioning. Yeah, there he goes. 20 pop. Not the fastest we've ever seen. And Liereyy also going 20 pop, but this is for the eco approach. TaToH's scout actually becomes really important here. If Liereyy ends up finding that with the slightly faster feudal, I think both players will be out there moving around confidently, thinking my opponent will still be in Dark Age. I could kill their scout. But think for TaToH, unlikely he'll be spotted, and Lierey's still pretty far away. It's pretty much the only thing I could touch on at the moment. Is a very easy stonewall for Liereyy in this choke point in the south though, Dave. I think doing that is an option. You either apply lots of pressure.
Game 2, guys. My prediction.
Or
it's
you
game
play
2.
really defensive.
It's not game 1. It's game 2.
Maybe stonewall that choke so TaToH can't go through there.
It's kind of minimized on my screen, but I did it for you. Get your predictions in.
Scouts from Liereyy looking for the scout. Maybe he knew it was there. I don't know. TaToH correctly hugging the edge of the map.
Yep.
And TaToH should be fine. And TaToH is going to drop the TC. Most likely near the stone. That's where his vills are headed. About 8 vills is what we've typically seen this built with.
And it is
TaToH goes 8.
It's like you know.
Yeah, man. I don't read AoE Zone much anymore, but there was a time where there was a very interesting thread on AoE Zone about what is optimal. And people were testing 6, 7, 8. I'm sure there's videos on it now, but a couple years ago, so...
Well, he's
now
got
TaToH
10
goes
on
up
there
to
now.
10.
Yeah,
we ruined it.
just because you said that, he goes up to 10.
I've been liking this new trend where players box up their buildings on arena-style maps.
Yeah.
Like, Liereyy hasn't done that, and that could lead to spacing being more awkward for him later. TaToH just building the box houses here.
We saw that a lot in Masters of Arena with the guys like Valis, right? He'll just build them all in little cubes or along the edge of the map or, just places that
like
won't get in the way of farming later.
Yeah, like I don't know how to describe it. Like 2 houses and then 1 in the middle. So there's a tile on either side that's free.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tetrising it so you have your next building wedged into the one side. It's more space efficient.
Okay,
it doesn't offer as much protection.
TaToH is caught up with Lierey's villager advantage now, and he's going to steam on forward. But Liereyy is angling towards Castle Age, and Lierey's going to make that market. Lierey's going to make the blacksmith. No, probably the market stable, I suppose.
I think he might go market blacksmith, and he wants like Pike Siege.
Okay.
But what I want him to do is double stable cheap Malay elephants and just freaking rush right in. I actually think it could work, but there's no world where Liereyy would ever do that.
Look at TaToH getting loom and then coming out for this outpost. And Liereyy is like
True.
hugging the wall from TaToH's base. Let me in! Let me in! He's trying to see as much as he possibly can. TaToH will come out with this villager. The scout will not see. Oh my god.
TaToH wants that scout to be seen. He wants that scout to attack that Vil so he could then win the scout war.
Well, he's got a faster scout, so if he gets the first hit, he's going to win.
Well, you see what this is, right? Like, TaToH knows that villagers may come across the map. It is a staple for Liereyy. And so TaToH just wants to make sure that he maintains his villager lead and that he does not allow any forward villagers from his opponent. So it's really smart.
This is why I think TaToH is probably the best humans player in the world currently. It's because he doesn't like just go for that second TC and then always rush Castle Age afterwards. Sometimes you'll see him go for the pressure forward first, then add the TC. Sometimes you'll see him do this, which is add the second TC and then add in feudal military. And he's just attempting to buy himself time because he knows he's always going to be ahead economically. The only area he can lose the game, at least early, is in map control.
This to me is so similar to the previous game where Lierey's like, okay, I need this area of the map. I'm coming forward. I've got the faster Castle Age, 2 villagers. I'll be fine. He doesn't actually have loom. And then TaToH obviously has designed this whole strategy around holding this area.
Yeah. Does Liereyy freak out when he sees the outpost?
Liereyy, you got a wall in your vills.
Yeah.
You got a wall in your vills.
You kind of you freak out a little bit when you see that.
Yeah. Especially because you just saw the spearman on the other side too. Like, Liereyy, wall in your vills. Okay, there's another outpost.
Come on, man.
As if you needed another warning.
It's another reason.
Liereyy.
He doesn't have loom. This is a repeat of last game when TaToH had the villagers forward.
What are we doing? At least TaToH got loom. Well, amazing play from TaToH. He knows he's got a villager lead to maintain, and he even brings his own villagers here. And the longer this goes on, the better it actually becomes for TaToH, right? Because he's got 2 TCs and rip to the vills. They will not build any buildings. TaToH brought a lot of his own vills out here. Might want to send some of them home, but advantage TaToH now, certainly.
I mean, Lierey's adding that second TC now, so he's going to just keep his head above water in villager comparison. But TaToH is perfectly comfortable in these situations. Opponent is Castle Age. He's Feudal Age, making Feudal Age military with the second TC. He has an account just dedicated to this. So he doesn't have any problems matching up against a Castle Age enemy.
Agreed. Shout out to the bear helping TaToH as well in the spearman battle next to the wood line. Kind of unfortunate here for Liereyy, and TaToH's probably going to feel comfortable to drop a castle, go for some kip checks. This is the right play from Liereyy to try and just come back in the game by booming, but honestly, to quote you from like 4 years ago, I still think this all the time. At one point, I forget what it was, but watching Liereyy walk by 2 outposts, I was just hearing your voice. Pro players are so smart, but they're just so stupid sometimes. It's just like, come on. You don't get loom. You see 2 outposts, and you don't think there's going to be something coming for your vills there, Liereyy? Come on, man.
And the best thing about Liereyy as like a person is if you talk to him later and say like, it was kind of dumb to just walk by that. He won't try and defend it. He'll just be like, yeah, I was an idiot.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. We're totally brain dead.
I suck.
Yeah. Well, look at that farming eco from TaToH. Dude, TaToH, he hasn't clicked up the Castle Age yet, but when he makes it to Castle Age, he is going to have so
much food. Oh my god. 28 farms.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's going to be able to go up to Imp right away. And that's another part of this humans thing, where if you produce in Feudal Age for a while, get the food income rolling, you get to the Castle Age, you can go for a castle, and then you can click up right away. And it might even be an instance where TaToH tries to go forward with the castle, or it is TaToH. We could see like an Onager cut style build through the center. You never know what you're going to see with this guy.
The second he gets to the next stage. He's done a good job killing most of Lierey's scouts. Lierey's also done a good job to get another kill there himself. But like, you could go immediately 3rd TC, 4th TC. I personally, really like the map control approach where you get enough army to just waltz across the map and drop a castle, at least in the choke point. Fast Trebs feels like the way to go because the longer the game goes, the more not having Bracer feels awkward as the Cumin. So, but I mean, Lear's recovered, right? It was silly of him, but he's up to 55 vills now, and he's on 3 TCs. So it should even out here shortly.
What have I done? Okay.
TaToH, 2,000 more resources collected. A lot of that's going to be food. And like Cav upgrade will probably come in for TaToH. Liereyy needs more spears. I think right now you need to worry that TaToH's going to advance out across the map. I'd like to see even just like a second barracks, pikeman, just protect the map.
We're speaking about food income for TaToH. Lierey's getting handcart. He's got 32 farms.
Yeah, true.
Like, that's really, really good. And TaToH gets the Castle Age and decides, you know, maybe someone asked him what technology he was going to get, and he just said yes.
Yep.
He gets everything. Yep. He gets the second wood upgrade,
right?
farm upgrade,
all
wheelbarrow.
those upgrades cost food.
Yep. And he goes for the 3rd and 4th TC here, Tristan. He still has a considerable amount of stone. He's got 29 on food, and food is coming in faster than he can spend it currently, which is a good sign. And he's still controlling the relics. But the light cav are going to be pushed away by the monks from Liereyy. Liereyy does not have sanctity on those monks. He's got spearmen defending, but this should be a walk in the park for TaToH to snipe at least 2 monks.
Yeah, I mean, Liereyy did just show him, like, hey, I've got monks here because I'm going to start converting you, and 3 monks dead.
Yeah, what monks?
Yeah, that's a painful sight right there. Especially when you are already being outboomed, to lose 300 gold like that and not have any reward is brutal.
So TaToH
Great from TaToH
is going to come forward, I believe. No, he's just placing a more defensive castle. He knows he has that eco lead. He's comfortable with the eco lead. Like, the villager count is close now from Liereyy, but TaToH has had so much more time with those villagers. And Liereyy has invested a lot into gathering gold, and his monks so far have not paid off at all.
Yep. I think this is for like enough kip checks for map control, and then Regicide Fortress style, build the next castle forward with a faster imp.
Maybe.
The only thing that's weird about that is you are 4 TC now, so I'm not sure how natural the food income's gonna rise. But yeah, TaToH sending more to stone. These villas will continue to walk forward for TaToH, and he wants a castle near where almost Lierey's monastery is.
I love the outposts in the north too. Not waiting around to get those up. He's going to send the monk out for that relic in the north. He's controlling that. And there's 2 more relics close by that he can snag.
And TaToH just lumber camps with those vills for now. Kip checks are on the way. 1 relic for Liereyy, 0 for TaToH. Obviously, TaToH's going to have a bunch of them, though, because he's protecting a lot of them. Liereyy getting Loom. Good upgrade to get, I heard. And he wants to click up here.
Go for palisade walls here, TaToH. Once your outposts are done, just slow him down just a little bit. Liereyy, you know Lierey's only going to have crossbows and arbalists. Not going to have rams or anything. Just go for palisade walls.
Okay, maybe TaToH... Will he see the ranges? Here come the vills from Liereyy. Lierey's going to advance forward. Liereyy getting pikes. Obviously, that could be good. TaToH's kip checks, I mean... There's only 2 of them. They don't have bodkin. Kip check's more of a unit you mass than you can... You can't use 2 kip checks to really accomplish much.
No, but it'll let you know he's coming, and then you can go for walls here, and then Liereyy is forced into a castle on your walls, or on your houses, or whatever you build here.
And Liereyy, even knowing that TaToH knows he's coming, will also hesitate to move forward until he has a few more numbers. TaToH is up, but oh man. If Liereyy just commits, which he is currently doing, he could really snowball this hard. If he gets that castle down, that's a good castle. He doesn't even know it's a good castle yet.
Light cav behind. Kip checks are coming in from the other side.
Oh, and the monks are exposed for Liereyy.
Oh, dude, I don't know about this, Tristan.
Oh, jeez. He's made it to imp. He doesn't have much army to protect. The
It's
classic
fine.
Malay problem.
It's only kip checks. They can't deny the castle. I forgot. It was a kip check. If it was a good unit, then it would have been able to, but I forgot. I have been remiss. I have been remiss. This unit, let me tell you, this unit sucks. The only reason people make kip checks is because there isn't a better option in the the Cumin tech tree.
You know what? I won't even respond. I won't even entertain such a ridiculous thing. I will say, in your defense, TaToH is currently planning on going skirms with humans,
Yeah.
which doesn't feel great. So that might actually say a lot about his faith in the kip checks, but I think more than anything, it tells me that he's planning on losing that castle to the Trebs from Liereyy. Lierey's got a whole 6 crossbows, Dave. Wow.
I mean, kip checks, once they get fully upgraded in Imperial Age, they're decent. And like I said, humans don't really have a better option in their arsenal, right? But in the Castle Age and whatnot, you could see they were doing limited damage against the villagers. Couldn't really deny that. He's getting Thumbring Skirmisher, and he's repairing this castle more to buy himself enough time. I don't think TaToH expects this castle to survive, but he reaches Imperial Age. Final armor upgrade on the way. Siege workshops here at the front, and we could see a situation where TaToH attacks in the north to distract Liereyy and then builds up like either rams or onagers. I don't know what would be better here.
Against bombard cannons, I think you go rams. But like TaToH's definitely going to make buildings in the north eventually. By the way, I think if TaToH would have had just like 2 more light cav, maybe 3 more kip checks, that castle would have been fully denied, and this game's completely different.
Look at that. Look at the game sense from Liereyy to go for the tower on the gold north of his base. He knows something is coming. I don't know how effective that's going to be, but he knows something is coming.
That looks really cool. The kip checks and the light cav like that looks really cool. And I don't like the tower. I think this tower is useless in the Imperial Age. It will die immediately. Might want to consider.
And he makes another one. So it's doubly useless.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he unfortunately he has to push. He knows he's behind economically, and he knows he doesn't have relics. So he's trying to push, and he doesn't want to make any army for that location. And you could tell because of the distraction, he's lost some pikemen. You know, yeah, you don't get bracers, the humans, but you do get full armor, so the skirms are completely fine to hold. And TaToH's just probably going to just switch sides with Hussar raids at this point. Like, Liereyy really needs more.
Is suffering from success right now. He has too much population. He can't get the rams out. He's been host forever. He's at 184 pop. He's about to be pop capped here. He has more stables on the north, and this is just the power of humans.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be tough for Liereyy. Like, his army count is so low. We haven't seen Arbalest yet, Dave. We haven't seen Halb yet. His gold is all outside of his walls. So, you know, TaToH continues to raid there, and I'm sure he will. TaToH's going to be all in a great spot. Also, look at TaToH's outpost next to Lierey's castle. That is giving him some valuable vision on what buildings are being built. The fact there's villagers there, too.
Yep.
That is really good. Outposting, so important. I feel like even pro players could sometimes underutilize them.
Bro, this push is going to be really tough for Liereyy to stop. TaToH's not messing around with the rams. He's getting siege ram, and if he had population space, he would have like 7 siege rams, 3 trebs, skirmishers, hussar, plus an army at the back.
Elite karambits, though. And the fact you get the armor for free, this might surprise TaToH. TaToH should be fine with a couple kip checks and a couple hussars in combination, though.
He doesn't have enough
for
pop
now,
space.
TaToH backs up.
He has no pop space.
True.
Needs to lose some of these skirms, maybe. I don't know.
Karambits aren't really, you know, they're not supporting much beyond the siege here. But Lierey's like, I've got to send it because my gold is being raided on the other side, and here he comes. I'm sure it'll be disappointing for Liereyy to see that siege ram is coming through, though, and there's no way Liereyy doesn't have enough. Not with siege rams and hussars and skirmishers. He's also not even trebbing out the castle yet, Dave. But Lierey's got 50 army. He is still trying to get this push going. He's not bailing on it.
Yeah, but the siege rams, like, he needs all of his melee units attacking these rams coming in towards his trebs. Fortunately for him, TaToH's having some pathing issues. That castle will go down immediately as soon as it's up.
Yeah.
And the rams are now on the field, and there's more coming from the siege workshops. It's a limited time push here from Liereyy.
And what have you really gained? You've trebbed down a stable or 2, maybe some siege workshops. Is TaToH throwing? TaToH's missing big upgrades. The karambits are producing really quickly. Maybe Liereyy could do this. He just lost the castle, though.
Rams are coming in. Lierey's trying to body block. Hussar, though. are being produced, and the Rams are trying to run. The Siege Rams are here. Or, sorry, the Trebs are trying to run. The Siege Rams are here. Oh, boy.
Oh, and now you can't really push. But we are seeing TaToH having an issue with primarily skirmishers. The Hussars are dying to the Halbs as well. We're not seeing Kip Check. We need elite Kip Check from TaToH.
Yeah.
And Kip Checks, I know you're not the biggest fan, but especially against like the Karambit, which is more of a mass thing.
And I love the fact that TaToH has killed the gate now, and he's going into Lierey's eco. If he can get on that wood line, Liereyy, it might take him a while to realize what's happening.
Yeah. And in all honesty, if he loses all that pop right now, that's 10 more pop he can defend with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really good. And a couple Hussars forcing a castle from Liereyy defensively near the gold. Liereyy hasn't actually noticed his wood line has Hussars on it. And this gives TaToH time to catch up, get Parthian tactics, get elite Kip Check. He'll have 30 Kip Checks on the map soon.
He finally has pop space to work with forward here.
Yep. And he has 4 relics, so he just needed to hold. Now the relic income's really paying off. Lierey's going to struggle a bit here because he's just got 25 halbs. But that was a good play from Liereyy. Like, that was it. I like how he ignored the other side, because if you react to the other side at all, you don't have as much to push there.
Yeah.
Fun series, man. It's like every time, thus far, obviously, we've only seen 2 games, but we've seen a player a better strategy and get a winning position, and the other player refuses to get rolled right away and puts up a really big fight, you know?
Liereyy is doing so well with the positioning. Like, TaToH even tries to go for a raid at the bottom. Liereyy positions his halberdiers. He's going for a gate now behind. Definitely wants to just consolidate all of his forces here and focus on this one area. But the problem for him, which is usually the problem for humans, is that he doesn't have the tools in the tech tree to fight this late game in this Civ matchup.
I mean, Karambits are good, but, you know, you're only producing out of this one castle on the front. The other castles are all really far away. Good quick walling there from Liereyy again, as TaToH's just got 1 Treb. Not the biggest fan of that. I think he might need to back away with it.
Prop rotation, 2-man saw.
Oh, goodbye bombard cannons. Kip Check say hello, and they don't get the kill.
Because it's Kip Checks.
Just 1 more Kip Check. He had 23, he needed 24. I don't like this, TaToH, all right? The whole 1 Treb thing, it doesn't make me happy. Everything else about TaToH's play, just borderline perfect at this point, though. I wouldn't mind Onager with those resources. And he did snipe a bomber cannon in the end with the Hussars there.
Liereyy also clearing the buildings to the north, but that's a lot of population. That's 18 pop.
Look at TaToH blocking off the left side with stables. That's really unique.
And he's got step husbandry too.
Also, TaToH has gold in the back corner that he could mine. So he's got tons of mineable gold. Yeah, step husbandry, meaning the stables produce, what is it, like 80% faster now?
Faster, yep.
Yeah, this is going to be rough. I mean, Lierey's got 20 of his pop, just ting-tinging away against buildings in the north.
Liereyy, don't make a castle.
Don't! Why do people do this? We said it earlier, Dave. It's a mistake. Too many people do this on Hideout. It'll just get trapped down. TaToH should wait until it's completed, so Liereyy doesn't even have a chance to reconsider it and delete. It's like the one thing that consistently happens in pro matches on Hideout, but also happens in Lowey the Legends, is castles like that. And then you're like, oh crap, I have no way to stop their trebuchets. I just wasted 650 stone. Whoops. Oh god.
Can't get in.
Hussars trying to get through. And TaToH's trebs are obviously preoccupied. The siege rams are not going to do the job, so Lierey's still able to hold. Lierey's got 70 army. Not going away quietly here.
We need a stack of like 5 or 6 trebs for TaToH, it feels like. With the Kip Checks to protect them, the castle predictably dies immediately in the center. And now TaToH, he's got trebs to cut the trees. He doesn't even need onagers. He's got trebs to cut if he wants to go through there.
All right, Kip Checks redemption here. Take out a bombard cannon just like that. You're running unlimited gold right now if you are Liereyy. positive, though, is that he hasn't spent a ton of gold. Kramits aren't that expensive.
He's getting onager.
Like,
He sees the cup potential.
oh, yeah.
And all of the military goes back. And if you're Liereyy, you got an outpost there and you're thinking, where's that army going?
I just heard TaToH delete a bunch of vills, too, so he could spike up an army.
Yeah,
and like, I think if you can do it simultaneously, where you onager, cut, and raid, and then at the same time just swing your Trebs over
yep.
and take Leary's castle.
I don't even think you need the Trebs over there. I think you keep the Trebs in the center. I like the fact that TaToH has that Treb a little bit further forward, giving him some more scouting. But you just go for this push through the center, right? Like, that castle's really tough to take out from Liereyy with the bomber cannons defending. Even if he's distracted.
Hussars? This feels weird to say. But
Both.
No, because then Liereyy pushes you.
You've got onagers coming out from the siege workshops at home.
Don't send your kip checks away, TaToH.
Send them all here. Everything.
Leary's going to push you then. This is a little risky.
You've got onagers at home.
It's obviously amazing.
Yeah.
It's obviously still going to be great for TaToH. Leary's going to lose like 50 pop, but now Liereyy can push the castle. So TaToH just needs to defend there. Okay, so the kip checks had a little visit. They like what they saw, and now they're coming home to defend this castle. Let's see if TaToH can hold here. This is Leary's last chance. He's going to get completely destroyed by Hussars and Trebs. Let's see if these kip checks are enough to hold. I believe it should be for TaToH, especially if he has an onager.
Well, he's got onagers in the queue by those siege workshops. So if he ever loses population, he can come out and try and nuke Liereyy. He's still got I mean, the Hussars are doing so much, dude.
Yep, and obviously, you know, you only have 3 bomber cannons. TaToH just sniped one before, so he keeps backing away, using his castle fire. Castle's got 55 kills here for TaToH.
Liereyy,
and eventually an onager's going to come out.
I mean, he should have never made that castle in the center. He escalated things.
Yeah, he really did.
He did, yeah.
TaToH's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that, and TaToH wins.
Yeah.
It's a 1-1 in this series. It's been a great series, though. I think we saw Leary's comfort level in what was the neutral map, but game 1, and then TaToH's comfort level here. Ultimately, I think it was 2 things for Liereyy. First off, the map gen kind of disrupted things possibly. He couldn't get forward as easily. But then, of course, walking past 2 outposts, never protecting the villagers. That was probably a little foolish. And then the other thing was an early imp. He just didn't quite have the army, right? I remember a point where he had Bracer, and he had Chemistry, and he had a bomber cannon in queue, and he had 8 crossbows.
Yeah.
Like, he just really lacked the army numbers, and TaToH was able to benefit from his extra eco and grind Liereyy down.
Humans win again.
Humans win on Hideout. Yeah, it's a good pick, especially for TaToH. TaToH just played that so perfectly.
I think if Hideout is in the pool and you're not going to pick humans, that's your first ban by far. Like, you just have to. You have to get rid of them. Have to.
Yeah, unless you get first pick, then you don't ban it, and you hope for the best, and that it doesn't get banned by the enemy. It's also a preference thing. Some people really like it. Some people don't like them. Like, I still fall into the category of player that will lose against humans
but you don't
lose with humans.
Yeah, but you don't like playing against them, so you ban them. That's the whole idea behind a ban, you know? It's the whole premise.
Okay, so I did get a response from Nikov, but I'm going to make sure that I can actually say what he said to me, because I want players to still tell me things, but still curious about that migration. Nikov said no. Okay, so I can't share any details. Good to know. Game 3 coming up. Golden Pit. What in the world? Liereyy on Golden Pit. Incas, Chinese, Japanese.
And he went color 6 too.
Oh, and he changed his color again. All right.
Such a menace, dude.
And he's gone Chinese. TaToH should lame here. That's my first thought. When up against the Chinese, I think you've got to try and steal things. What time are you at?
I'm at 1 second.
God, this color's just freaking brutal.
Purple red is just an awful combination.
Okay. 1 second. V2, 3, 2, 1, go. Here we are, game 3. So I'm trying to think. So as it stands, TaToH has 3 wins. And I guess it's Liereyy that has 4 wins in total. in all the games they played thus far, with one round out of the way before this. So it would be really interesting to see TaToH win this and then have both these players be tied. Um, Dave, like Tatar's great because of the hill here, extra food on your sheep, all that stuff's fantastic. But with the Chinese for Liereyy, it's all about having a clean start. If I'm TaToH, I'm trying to disrupt that right now. And I'm trying to go forward, trying to steal some sheep, steal some boars, delay deer being pushed, anything.
No, exactly. That's the whole premise against a Chinese on maps like this, right? Where you're far apart,
Yep.
they can try and get greedy and go for the walls. So we'll see if TaToH decides to do that. I don't think he will. I think he's just going to continue to push in, and he's got himself a decent map. Tatars are kind of a greedy civ themselves in some ways.
Yep,
you get more food from the sheep, so maybe TaToH figures that he's going to have a lot of extra res, and if he gets the Castle Age, where Tatars kind of shine with the Cav Archers or Step Lancers or whatever he wants to make, maybe he can get something done.
This is a smooth start with the Chinese. 15 seconds of TC idle time. He will maintain this. Small detail for those that maybe saw it. The fact that he partially built a house is actually part of the build that he's doing here. Because if you fully build the house, the villagers aren't on food in the time that you're looking for. I don't know why Lierey's walking around with a vill, though. He doesn't actually know where his boar is. I guess he's going to make a house, and then... It is still a bit weird to me. Maybe he's concerned he's going to get lamed, but the scout's
right
here,
there.
Liereyy.
It's right there. I think he just couldn't find his boar, man.
Do you think he saw the boar before, and then it walked away out of his vision?
And then he got confused?
And he forgot where it was? Yeah.
Could be it.
Not speaking from experience.
I get disoriented all the time. Like, sometimes I'll find myself trying to make a production building up against the edge of the map because I just kind of like, I'm like, oh, the enemy's in the other direction. Hang on a second.
Yeah, like, dude, I completely relate to that, where you don't look at the mini map until after you've placed your initial houses or barracks. Yeah.
He missed the other boar. Okay, he's going to find it. There we go.
Yeah, we did actually make an adjustment to this map script from the original version with the boar placement, because the DE version, guys, has the boar spawn on like that hill headed towards the middle. So you could pretty consistently, not trying to give people ideas, because this could ruin people's day, but you could pretty consistently probably go forward with a villager or a scout and, steal some of those. So I don't really like when games end 10 minutes in because someone's lost 2 boars. So we spawn them to the side and the back. It's still allowed to steal them, but it's just not as easy to do so.
Really solid start from Liereyy. Really, really solid start. Like you said, 15 seconds idle TC time is beautiful, and this is an easily wallable map for as far as Golden Pit goes.
Yeah. And it's kind of what you want, right? You want a couple walls down, maintain your villager lead. This is as clean a start as I'd seen with Chinese in a long time. And TaToH, could see him maybe trying to go for scouts and adapting into maybe Cav Archers in Castle Age, but he's going to see Lierey's base. He knows where he is now. The obvious thing that we should have mentioned but haven't is there's just not a lot of gold at the top of your hill on this map. There's only 6 tiles. So eventually they have to try and control the pit.
The Golden Pit.
It feels like there's more space in the middle, like a gold or stone didn't spawn. I don't know what's standard, though.
It kind of does, actually. Is it standard to have only 4 stones?
No clue. It falls into the category of there's already so much gold and stone that I don't think it matters, but it does kind of feel like it's less congested.
Well, it's pretty even for both players, right? I mean, I guess the stones are a little bit angled towards TaToH, but there's plenty of space to make TCs and whatnot. Lierey's now going to find TaToH's base on the other side. Hopefully he doesn't run into the TC. He's going to see the trees and back away. And attacks the house just to let TaToH know that he knows. And now TaToH knows that Liereyy knows, and Liereyy knows that TaToH knows that he knows.
Everybody knows.
Everyone knows.
Liereyy up at similar time with 2 more villagers. Also has cheaper techs. Also more food on those farms. Also great unit options. This is why you want the Chinese, but honestly, a lot of it just comes down to the start. It is extremely difficult to execute a Dark Age like this. In a normal game, like 95% of people watching couldn't do it against the AI right now. Go ahead and try. It's not easy. And this guy's just doing it in tournament. No problem. So clean.
Go for the big walls over there, and that makes sure that TaToH can't pressure in on the stones and golds on the other side. And he's monitoring what TaToH's doing, right? Like, he saw the barracks was up later. He knew where the scout positioning was, so he knows he's free to go for those walls because there's absolutely nothing happening. So he'll get them down while he can, and I believe he saw the stable, right? Yeah. But actually, knowing Liereyy, he doesn't know if that's a stable or an archer range. He actually might come back and check because I've talked to him before about building foundations, and he's thought like a blacksmith was a monastery. Like, look, he comes back and checks. He comes back and checks. I mean,
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
No, dude. No, you can't. Not with Liereyy. No. He came back and made sure.
There are, Liereyy, if that's still an issue for you, there are mods that actually show little icons on building foundations.
You know he's too lazy to download those.
Just saying. Well, TaToH was faster to the stable, so that's an advantage for TaToH, and you got to take every advantage you can get here, and obviously turning this into a villager kill or two almost feels necessary to compete with this amazing eco for Liereyy. And Lierey's just going to play defense, keeping his scouts at home, adding some spears. But TaToH loves his forward spear play. So the idea is just to smother the opponent and try and tempt them to go into archers earlier than they can possibly achieve. Or sometimes like this, if the scouts stay at home, they get hit by the spear. Like just like that. Liereyy, I don't think he knew anything about that, Dave.
Well, he's got a spear of his own, so I don't think TaToH can really do any damage. And Lierey's trying to take out that spearman from TaToH, so he can feel pretty comfortable with his scouts, but he obviously doesn't want to lose that. He's got the full walls on the left, but still open on the right. Maybe just trying to hang around here until his berries are gone, and then he'll full wall behind that. He's trying to eke out as much food as possible from those bushes.
Liereyy waiting for TaToH's attack. Liereyy tries to get the quick wall. That's going to be a villager dead. Well played, TaToH. Very sneaky there, and now that area is still open. And TaToH does a little whoop there, or should I say whoop? And also, this is horrible. He's actually got hit quite a few times. But he's making Liereyy pay for a little bit of passive play, kills the scout, runs away. Good job from TaToH here. Surprised Liereyy didn't make more scouts. He's got lots of food. I feel like an extra scout or two wouldn't hurt, but he's going to go to
Maybe.
gold.
I mean, he might make them now that he took 2 hits there from the spearman. That's unfortunate. But he is adding an archer range. He can deal with the spearman past that point. The berries are almost gone from that forage bush, and he should still be in a position because he's gone out to gold a little bit earlier where he can click up to Castle Age first. TaToH, though, has done a pretty decent job just holding Liereyy in on this side of the map, and you can see now he's going for the walls. He didn't go for those earlier because he didn't need to. He had forward pressure.
Yep, not too bad. This will be archers for Liereyy in time. Not just yet, though. I think TaToH very happy to kill the scout, but also very happy to know that Liereyy stayed at home and didn't make more scouts because currently he's not walled. So nice army control from TaToH. He hasn't lost a unit yet. So considering that, this is good. And honestly, from here, if TaToH can just defend from those archers that could move out, I feel like TaToH might really like his position. Potentially cav archers with the Tatars. If you get that built up, it gets really difficult for any civ to stop it.
Walls in front from Liereyy. He just wanted to hold there until all the berries were gone, Tristan. That's it.
Yep.
And he goes for another archer range, and now he's fully walled.
All right, so here's the big thing. At some point, Lierey's going to move out. And I don't think it's going to be before he clicks up to Castle Age. TaToH wants to kill that army. Right? He's like moved out with his archer, his skirms. He wants to chip away at that. So when Liereyy moves out, if TaToH sees it, if TaToH has fortifications at home, like notice the house walling on the front from TaToH. It's primarily on the front. So he's more protected there. That's really smart.
The house walling on the front is on the front?
Well,
primarily.
Okay, he's house wall. Yeah, okay, primarily on the front, yes. But like, you get my point. It's not house walling the side.
Big if true. Huge.
Uh, it's like the equivalent of a player playing a perfect game and then they miss one quick wall
Mm-hmm.
and we're like, ah, what a noob, right?
Yeah.
The caster equivalent.
No, people don't need an excuse to call us noobs.
That's true. We give him lots of reasons to do that. I'd love to see TaToH try kill this scout, and he does. So now you've got no vision on where those range units may be for TaToH, but actually Liereyy moves out.
He's going elite skirm. Lierey's coming to play. Pushing through the center there. Armor is coming in for these skirms. It's not in yet though, but
it's interesting. I mean, it's Liereyy, right? So you would expect that he'd have the confidence, but this is definitely going to give TaToH an opportunity, at the very least, push those archers back a little bit.
mm-hmm. I think Liereyy would just go knight production and crossbow, right?
Yes, but we should mention that the 3 tiles of gold for Lierey's outside of his walls there on the right, and TaToH's are both within the walls. So if Liereyy doesn't initially have control,
I think he's going to be tracking the army. He might go out there for a second TC relatively early.
I think TaToH, like, I was expecting him to be able to know where these archers are. You should not be surprised by this army if you have 3 scouts. A player of TaToH's caliber typically splits up those scouts to find the army. Liereyy now knows the ranged unit army's out of position for TaToH because he lost the spearman there.
And Lierey's not the type of guy to send his army back to defend. Like,
Correct.
He's going to keep these guys forward. He knows that TaToH will need to keep an eye on these as crossbow upgrade is coming in. And there's the TC from Liereyy, and he goes for the house walls behind. He's going to use this TC to help repair his base, and the walls will buy him enough time to get the town center up.
Yeah, so damage control needed from both. Liereyy for now.
Liereyy just kills farms.
He's just going to sit, and he's just going to kill farms. He's going to do whatever he can.
So
no knights for him, by the way. And that could be a concern.
In Clash of Empires against Viper, Liereyy killed in one game 14 farms. And he just kept sniping down farms with crossbows. He absolutely loves doing it. Viper was playing Huns wide open. And he was waiting for Castle Age to kick so he could go for... so Liereyy did a full circle around his base. Didn't snipe a single villager, but killed 14 farms.
14 farms. Wow.
Yeah.
I like how you went back and counted it. That's the level of detail.
Well, like, I'm saying specifically 14 farms. I think it might have been 10. I don't know.
Oh, come on. You didn't even go back and check? Okay.
I think it was 14. But my point being that most players will run around looking for vills. Liereyy will just take whatever he can get, and that includes a couple farms at the front, making life difficult for TaToH. But speaking of making life difficult, there will be no life in a second for Lierey's army because TaToH has cornered him. He's on 4 different sides.
That's sick. Yeah, that was very well played from TaToH. Only loses a scout. And again, like, Liereyy kind of playing with fire there. He wanted to kill farms, but I think Liereyy just kind of lacked control here. He is on 2 TCs. He is the Chinese. He's also got Knights in queue, and he's got Mangonel. So now TaToH's got to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
TaToH's been later to the town centers. I still think I prefer Lierey's position as long as he utilizes the Knights and utilizes the Mangonel here.
TaToH, watch out.
Be really careful.
Is this the point where I say TaToH won't get hit by a big shot here? He's too good. And then he just patrols right into one, or?
Well, there will be no patrolling, but I mean, with only 1 crossbow in this group, he's extremely vulnerable against everything here. And that whole army could, well, I guess no bloodlines.
It could die to these
awkward.
2 knights. Yeah.
It could.
And there's another knight coming in. That knight retreats.
Oof.
Liereyy will probably add a monastery soon to help heal up his knights. Might even pull this guy away. Yup.
TaToH's going to be kicking himself, man. Like, I feel like after he cleared up Lierey's army, again, scout to see what Liereyy has with your scouts. And then say, oh, he's added knights. Of course, he had that table before. That makes sense. I'm making skirms. Back away. So no cav archers for TaToH as he hits a 3rd TC. Great TC positions, though, on gold, on wood, on stone. And it's going to be Liereyy going for a market and also going for stone. So Liereyy might stay full army with 2 town centers and go for a castle at some point soon.
It's got 55 vills. It's got a decent setup, has wheelbarrows, still doesn't have the 2nd wood upgrade, which he should be getting shortly. But TaToH forced into a siege workshop in defense now.
Yeah. It's a good play from TaToH. You have to do it. Because Thumbring is in instantly in the next stage, having crossbows for now is not a bad thing for TaToH, but I mean, he's got to be so careful here. He does have the
TaToH's
hill.
good. He's never going to get hit by one of these shots.
All right, this is a test, guys. TaToH with some beautiful micros, just going to push Liereyy away, and Lierey's like, man, I got to stay away from that hill, and he drops the third town center in the middle of the map.
Would not surprise me to see Liereyy get like the +2 armor for his knights. I've seen this from him many times. I mean, they're all weak, so probably doesn't want to do that now. But like he switches from crossbows into knights when he realizes crossbows aren't viable very many times. Don't worry, TaToH never gets hit by big shots like this. He's too good.
I mean, it's essentially a range unit war. There are a couple knights, obviously. Feel like winning the race to the mangonels is a pretty big deal in this situation. Liereyy bringing tons of vills to the middle.
He's got 9 vills on stone.
Do you, when you get enough for a castle, do you try and place it in the middle? Do you place it like forward? I guess it depends. But...
I think back middle, more towards your side, is good for a starting castle. I don't know.
Especially after that.
It's really tough because I've seen so many instances of people putting that castle really far forward, and then the other guy has just enough res to survive into imp and get trebs.
Yeah.
And kill your castle, and then you're in a really tough spot.
I really like the second siege workshop as well from Liereyy. Interesting for TaToH that he's going for cav armor, so I think he will also make a couple knights. No ballistics for either player. Lots of range units out in the field, but it's all about the mangonels, it feels like, as they both pay attention here. TaToH's not on the hill anymore, and TaToH goes for the other one, doesn't get it. Great game, but advantage Liereyy right now in terms of the gold control. He's got a lot on gold and stone in the middle right now.
And TaToH, we're looking at his gold behind. He's got 3 tiles left. Still has plenty of stone, but only 3 tiles of gold and no relics in yet for either player. I haven't even seen a monk.
Feels like Liereyy, if he just starts building that castle now, TaToH's not going to have enough to break him.
Yep.
And I think he will debate on a castle around
middle.
where his siege
You gotta
is
go.
right
I think you gotta go middle, dude. I don't think you can go far forward. Maybe like front middle area.
Yeah, right in the open space, right there.
Yeah.
And it's just, will the timing be right for TaToH to be able to snipe all the mangonels with his knights? I think if Liereyy had waited just another minute, maybe it could have worked for TaToH.
TaToH's giving me anxiety patrolling with the skirmishers and the crossbows there. I know it's like farther away than it initially looks because of the hill.
Oh, God. Big shots here from TaToH, but castle's still on the way up for Liereyy. He will still want army when he makes it to the next stage.
Dude, the double siege workshop production is crazy. Like, there's just so many mangonels here from Liereyy, and it feels like TaToH really never expected that. He's trying to make do with his own mangonels, but Liereyy repairing the mangonels. He's about to click up to Imperial Age.
Look at TaToH's vision. This is going to be so sad. He's like, all right, he's got mangonels in the middle.
Damn.
I can go for this +2 armor. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to do this. And then he's going to see the castle. Liereyy even idling for imp, and Liereyy has so many mangonels right now.
Still hasn't seen it. He's going to commit. He's going to commit with the units, Tristan, I think, soon.
Oh, Lierey's like, come on, come here, come a little closer. I'm exposed. Come hit me. Come on. Come back here. Come on. It's safe.
Liereyy should almost send he should send like 5 crossbows forward, get hit by a shot, and give him a little bit of confidence.
It's so bad for TaToH. He doesn't know that castle's there because it would change everything. He would stop producing, and now he knows.
Oh, God.
Now he's like, oh crap, that's bad. I mean, you know, I said it before, I'll say it again. Chinese, you need a clean start. You need a clean game. Nothing happened in this game that made it messy. There was no lame attempt at the start. There was no, like, little militia build order. It was just a scout build.
I love this, Tristan. Look at Lierey's base, left side.
Stonewall. Because
He's
that's his weak point.
so good. Exactly. That's the
point.
lose condition.
Yeah. But also, how many times have we seen TaToH win these types of games by raiding the main base, too? But, you know, that's not something we would have seen from Liereyy 3 years ago. Liereyy, with all the tiny things, like we see him get relics a lot more frequently.
I think
he's got
the wood upgrade would be nice, but both players kind of agreeing that maybe that's not necessary. But other than that, it's been amazing.
I mean, on a map with this much gold, yeah. I think it might be like a backup plan for TaToH if he plans for life without
TaToH's too good. He never gets hit by these Let's give him
He is too
anxiety,
good.
dude.
He's called it every time, Dave. Well done.
Oh my god, he's making me so nervous, man.
Castle from Lierey's really smart. He'll probably might lose a villager or two, but that castle will go up. And the second these crossbows get upgraded, Liereyy feels like he hasn't lost many archers this game. The archers will dominate everything. He's going to have 33 of them. I'd love to see more fight from TaToH, but I think Lierey's in an unbreakable position.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
really do.
interesting too, because I think TaToH's initial plan was push this side, go forward Siege Workshop, and then maybe try and get like a castle up forward and switch it up, right?
Yep.
But instead, Liereyy shifts all his army back there. He's got mangonels back here defending. He's got the stone walls now on the right side, playing so intelligently, and he still has the crossbows that he can upgrade, and castles to make trebs to hit the castle forward from TaToH.
And you just wait till you get Arb and Bracer, and then hope to engage, and obviously Treb. TaToH, I think, is regretting losing those 15 skirmishers to those couple knights earlier in this game right now as he goes for the fight. And Lierey's played so well to prioritize the middle. This was his home map, so on many levels that was expected. But still really impressed with his play as he's getting those ranged unit upgrades. He does have to be careful with the ones he's defending with. TaToH lands a great shot.
Tatars, man. A mangonel on the
But
hill.
I mean, still, TaToH is just now clicked up to the Imperial Age. Trebs are already out for Liereyy. Upgrades are in. Liereyy takes care of the Mango. Yeah, now all of TaToH's forward army will die.
Yep.
You can't deal with these
And
upgrades.
It's once again a situation where Liereyy has a gigantic mass of Imperial Age crossbows.
Yep.
And this is the situation you want to avoid. There are only 2 palisades at the back there. If the knights get in, things could get a little bit messy for Liereyy, but he is tracking the army. TaToH needs to leave. He's going to wait for his upgrades. More crossbows forward, and that castle at the front is just sucking stone right now. It's all the stone
gotta do it.
that TaToH has. He needs to repair it.
Yeah, you've got to do it. Oh, bad fight from Liereyy.
Oh,
He missed
whoa,
microed or missed patrolled. Liereyy never loses these. He's just lost it. And still, I think he's in an amazing position. But now TaToH can maybe harass a little bit there.
What was that? He got his control groups mixed up, maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking control groups maybe accidentally toggle them to like no attack stance or something. Not really sure, because you just don't see that from Liereyy that frequently.
There's not a lot of stone left from TaToH up on the main plateau. And he's stopped repairing that castle because he realizes that it's simply not worth it for him. And now he's going to be running out of gold as well. It's actually out of gold right now.
Liereyy hasn't stonewalled this wood line where TaToH's army's coming in. And TaToH could kill a bunch of villagers there. So losing that army in the north has given TaToH new life. It still is worrying for TaToH that he's not going to be able to have any gold income. And he still could lose this army now as Liereyy comes over with more Arbalest. But yeah, Liereyy, I think playing it safe from here. He's adding stables, thinking about going Cavalier because he knows that TaToH will probably rely primarily on skirms. I think Lierey's also going to be like, forgot ballistics.
Like when Liereyy checks around for his army, these 5 Cavalier in the back could do a ton of damage to TaToH's
true.
eco.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, just toss it on a patrol and suddenly TaToH's reeling from it. I think Liereyy, he did everything he could to get into this position. He's played it well. I don't think it's a position that the Chinese can lose from.
I mean, just look at the middle area.
Yeah.
It's so congested there. Like, it's disgusting.
But, I mean, TaToH's been able to get his upgrades on his ranged units now, and Lierey's units still in the north. I think it's fair to say that Liereyy could have finished this game already.
Yeah.
Was a little sloppy just because that one fight. And obviously, full credit to TaToH. Crazy fight, crazy eco expansion here as he plans for life without gold.
Plans for it. He's been life without gold for the last 5 minutes of the game.
The skirms there to take a trip. Go, skirms, go.
Nope. Never.
Nope.
He won't allow it.
Yeah, this is all before Cav come in, man. Like, the Tars do get howled, which is great. But it feels like you're so many steps removed from that.
Can we get the wood upgrade, either player? Like, second, is this a memo that I missed somewhere?
I
That
doubt
Bosa
we're
just
gonna
isn't
get
worth it?
I think I think we are going to see one big fight, and then potentially TaToH drops out of the game because the Cavalier are in, and there's the GG.
That was a
Liereyy
massive
wins
fight.
2-1, and that means Liereyy 5 wins
Yep.
after the first 2 rounds, a much hotter start than in previous Titans League seasons. Still has to play Viper, but still has Sobek and still has Vivi, where I think he could be favorites there. And I was really impressed with Lierey's play today, particularly on Migration. Really felt like Migration was strong. And I think for TaToH, Hideout was obviously fantastic, but Migration, he definitely got bested and maybe needs to go to the drawing board on strats. In this game, though, Dave, you either make it messy against Chinese early, which he chose not to do, or you just got to back up with your skirms. He knew Liereyy had a stable.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been such a natural move for Liereyy to add the Knights. And I think had TaToH maintained the skirm count, it would have potentially been a different situation because he would have had way more ranged units than Liereyy.
Yep. Resources were actually fairly even, except for the gold value. That's kind of rough. But, I mean,
Yep.
that's a good sign for Liereyy, and that's a good sign for Liereyy fans and his prospects here. Like you said, that migration game shows that at least he was studying, which
Yeah.
is something that, you know, Liereyy might not have done in the past, but he clearly knew what was effective on that map and what other people had tried there. So really, really good stuff from Liereyy.
Yeah, and just a reminder on how the groups work and what that means long term, right? Because we think Liereyy, TaToH, Viper probably going to be 1, 2, or 3. If you're first in the group, you get a bye to the quarterfinal. I think last time Liereyy was second, and he went up against ACCM, and it was like a 3 or 4 hour best of 5 that went down to the final game,
Mm-hmm.
where Liereyy ended up winning. So, like, you know, really good players in this event. If Liereyy could end up bypassing that round of 12, that'd be great. But, you know, TaToH, I guess, what is that? 3 wins then, out of a potential 6. Now has gotten beyond Viper, has got beyond Liereyy, and now he's got the 3 quote unquote weaker players left. Obviously, plenty of time for TaToH to recover. Another really fun series.
Yep.
Between
And
two of the best in this group.
TaToH's not going to be the guy that phones it in against, you know, Classic Pro or Sobek or
Yep.
Vivi. Like, TaToH's going to want to win all 3 of those series 3-0, and he's going to prepare for them. So he's in a good spot. Liereyy obviously is in a fantastic position so far in Titans League. And I guess the only question now remaining for those big guys is, what does Viper bring to the table?